And so I would get paid to work while my kids were in the daycare. So I could teach 2 classes. I could leave my kids in there for up to 2 hours, and they loved it there. They got to do all of the different things at the YMCA, and then I would teach classes.
I want to start again appreciating your time and appreciating you because, like I said, in our relationship, I have learned much from you. One of those things is not being as wordy. Keep everything under 45 seconds, whatever you have to communicate. So my first question,
okay.
How do you become, women usually are more wordy than guys. So how do you learn how to speak like a guy? That's my question.
I think I'm so used to having only 60 seconds to get my point across in one story that I'm used to trying to wrap things up quickly. And I also know now you really only have 3 seconds to get a person's attention before they scroll on to the next story or the feed. And so I really try to get as much information as I can right from the jump and then kind of wrap it up quickly.
And does it translate with your kids or your husband? Can you also use the same technique in your family life?
I think so. I mean, I run a pretty tight ship, I think. And I this is your choice. You can use it or walk away. And it's like a 30-second instructional directive. And if they do it, great. And if not, they lose their phone.
All right. So there is I guess you can do it in the business and in your family life or in your marriage too, although that's going to be
it cuts down negotiating time for sure.
With kids, different things with your partner, though, that will be.
Oh, that's a whole different situation.
That's a whole different situation. So tell me a little bit more. I know that we've talked about it before, because prior to being an influencer, being as successful as you are, you were also, you were a PR. Your formal education is in communication.
So my undergrad is in public relations and advertising, and my master's degree is in education with an emphasis in behavior disorders and learning differences. And so how that blended together for this is I'm able to act as a brand spokesperson, but I can educate people as well. And so my niche has kind of been representing a brand, but also teaching people the how-to or the why behind a product.
So you basically had a professional education, not knowing that that's going to be your profession, because usually it's a perfect blend of those two things.
Well, it's funny because when I started, my dad was like, "What are we doing here? You're always on your phone." And what I'm doing is what I went to school for. It is PR. Right. It's just I no longer am driving media kits up I-4 to different radio stations and TV stations. Now I'm just working directly with brands.
Yeah, I totally agree. What do you think is what people misunderstand? Because they going to actually that's not the case, because I think you really are very authentic. You show yourself with makeup, without makeup. But what would you say people misunderstand about your profession?
I think people think that you are just making videos in front of a camera, and they do not see that one 60-second video or a reel for a brand is really 3 hours of work. It is so much work. And I keep saying it's not the most noble work I've ever done, although my community has really banded together to really improve the lives of many people. But it is just so much work, because there's work on before you get on the camera, and then there's work obviously and then the editing takes forever, and then you have to send things into approvals, and then you have to make edits. And like today I have to reshoot a whole new thing for Lululemon, which is more hours. And so it is not the work, it is not the type of work, I think, because people are like, man, this is just influencing. It's, I'm saving people. It's not the same as like, being a helicopter nurse, right? Like the people who go on, but the workload as a mother is the most that I have ever done, and trying to learn how to balance this job, which they call the golden handcuff, because I do well at it, but you can't shut it off. So learning how to balance that job and then family life is a challenge.
And also, knowing you personally and knowing other influencers, many other influencers use outside help, and a lot of it. So they're almost like a product. You are your own director, producer, and you do all the creative work really on your own with very little help. Is that?
what I was shocked to learn at a lot of these LTK summits that I went to is the top influencers, like the ones that you see, they have teams of 15 and 11 and 10 and 8
Correct.
people. And so they go in and they just do their thing and they walk away, and that's the last they see of it. So they're not physically posting, which is great. It is genius.
Mhm.
I cannot manage that many people with a house this big. I did recently hire, a girl to help me with some editing, but I'm still doing the editing. I'm reviewing her editing. And so that is where the challenge is, that the workload for me never stops.
Mhm. Well, and well, you hands-on. That definitely it's
Yes.
hands-on on every aspect, and I can definitely. It's to me, it's amazing that you don't delegate more, and you're able to do such a high quality, high intensity, uh, for this long and all throughout the year.
Well, I
Now,
think it's not that I haven't even tried to do that. It's just sometimes by the time you're done teaching someone and reviewing it and sending them clips and all of that, I could have done it myself. And
right.
so the time and that kind of thing, it's like I don't have a manager for the same reason. Like I've worked really hard and I don't really want to give 20% away of what I earned.
Well, and that's what makes you authentic because that's all of it is yours. You
Mhm.
do not have to consult anybody about what
No,
you
it's
think or
all
what you
me.
do. It's all you. And another that leads me to another question is because I remember that you are more than just an influencer. Your family, your kids, your husband, your horses, everything is a part of this Jenny show. And I know that you've had a couple of offers to actually be more public and
Oh,
have a couple shows, but you chose to protect your family and protect their privacy and
yes.
not have a circus around your
We've
house. So that's
we've
part
had
of
3 producers reach out to us for family shows over the years, and I took the call from the first one just to see, and I realized quickly that this was not going to be what I wanted to do when they are asking questions. Oh, well, does your ex-husband ever come to events, or would your son mind if we shot him at prom? And very quickly I was like, I didn't want to do it anyway, and that confirmed with me that TV would not be for us because it's out of your control. And I want to control the narrative for my own family.
and I think and that's why it goes with everything else about the authenticity and that you want to be in charge of anything, but because you're producing, your own show. You are your own show. Now, what makes you inspired? What inspires you? That's my next question.
I think really it's just providing the life for my kids. Like right now, my children, are high level. They do a lot of things, the horses, the baseball, all of those things, and they're costly. And so for me to see my children succeed, there is an unfortunate cost behind there. So for me, it is really just ensuring that my children are able to do what they want to do. And if so, Mary Claire is number 3 in the country, I think, and number 1 in the Southeast right now. And that requires, some work on both of our parts. And that's why sometimes when the kids, you don't see them a whole lot in ads or anything like that. But sometimes they will be in ads. And I tell them, if you want to ride horses and you want mom to buy you a horse, and we have all these barn bills, you absolutely are going to participate in some of this to earn money to put towards some of these things. And I have bank accounts for all 7 children, and every quarter I put money in there for them. But on the other side, there is a work ethic involved where if you want to do things, sometimes you have to earn them. And earning them may be showing up in a video for 2 minutes, which is not a whole lot. But there is a work ethic involved. And I feel like, and I've learned this very early, that sometimes opportunity looks like work. And I want my children to know you will participate in some of these things if we are wanting to do larger things in life. And, if they don't want to ride horses, that's fine. We can shut everything down. But in the meantime, everybody has to do a little bit.
Now, what if you had a chance to go to dinner, and I know that you don't go to many dinners because you usually dine with your family at home, but if you had a chance to go to dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
I would say, oh gosh, it's hard to pick a grandparent, but I have 2 grandfathers. One was a professional baseball player and one was an outdoorsman, and they both died when I was a freshman in college, like 2 months apart. So that would be one. Melissa McCarthy, the comedian, I love her. I think she is like the funniest the funniest human being ever. I love her so much. And then who else would I love to talk with? You put me on the spot. I would like to be prepared for this. Part of me wants to say Oprah because I just think she has come from nothing and built such an empire for herself. But there's some, some things. I don't know. Who's the third one?
How about Jesus?
Jesus would be a good one. Yeah, I guess. I wasn't even like thinking. I was thinking like
either or.
A celebrity person. I don't know. I always say Melissa McCarthy and my grandfathers.
Okay. Fantastic.
No, they're not inspirational. I know you're looking for some great answer, but I'm not that.
I'm not looking for anything. I'm just simply asking, a couple of silly questions to kind of get to know what makes you who you are. Another questions that I might have is that we discussed your favorite client, your favorite client story.
Oh yeah.
The profile of your favorite client, and I want to kind of expand into who do you don't like to do business with. And again, I know that you don't have to name names because it may cost you your things, but you can describe.
Yeah. One of my favorite brands, and I talk about this in my workshops, is Walmart, because it's the one brand that millionaires shop at and people on food stamps shop at. So there is something that everybody can find at that price point. And I do very well with Walmart. I also like them in terms of they allow me to pick the product. They allow me, most times I don't have to do previews. They trust my skill level and where I'm at in this career. And I can usually just post without previews, which is wonderful because previews take a lot longer. They require uploads, editing, captions, Google Docs, Google Drives, all these different things. And so they are one of my absolute favorite brand. And then brands that are difficult to work with are ones that here are your 6 products and you have to share this. Or we know you submitted your previews, but now we've changed our sale dates. So now we need you to edit it. Or, we are not using these 4 SKUs anymore. So now we need you to take these SKUs out and replace these SKUs. So those brands are difficult to work with because my biggest struggle is time with my family, time to try to get my workouts in and all of those things. So when people are adding tasks for me that take an extra hour of my day, I don't have time for that. So it stresses me out.
Mm-hmm. And also in your previous, we discussed this also that you actually have a background in fitness. So I think that's, so you're very knowledgeable. You taught classes.
I did.
Right?
I taught Zumba I got certified in Zumba. And then I got certified, I taught bar classes and things like that. And I did that in the beginning. It's funny. I got certified because I was a single mom at the time and I was trying to earn extra money and I couldn't figure out a way to earn extra money and work out at the same time because Jack and Grace were toddlers at the time. So I went and I got certified at the YMCA. And so I would get paid to work while my kids were in the daycare. So I could teach 2 classes. I could leave my kids in there for up to 2 hours and they loved it there. They got to do all of the different things at the YMCA and then I would teach classes. So that's how I really got my start in fitness.
Mm-hmm. And again, what would be what's the most important thing that you think changed because we changed the way you look? You have changed over the past couple of years. So what would you think was the biggest difference in training? Because you worked very hard, like you said, through your entire adult life. Also, you're a very accomplished high school. I think you told me that you surfed, so you had to have a...
Surfed, I played tennis. I did all of it. I was good at tennis, Strength training. I loved dance classes. I loved Zumba classes. I liked things that really got me moving. But I think where I lacked was weights. And so I think that body weight.
As we grow older and your muscles disappear, you're able to keep that on with the bones because again, osteoporosis it's a real thing. And
I have osteopenia, which is the precursor for that. So weights for me are super important.
Correct. And then, yes, and protein. Now, let me ask you another question is if you wrote a book and I would want you to tell me what do you find that people that actually read the book, what's the most important thing in that book that's helpful for the next generations of influencers?
I think it's really the strategies of how to show people. I always tell people there's room for everybody in this space and everybody has something. So it's not like you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not talented enough. Everybody has something. It's how you share it. And so I think that is what that book talks about is how you share it in what components. Like I have a pyramid and I tell people, write down 3 things that you're good at. Write down 3 things that you're bad at because you can monetize that. Give me 3 things you're passionate about. Like for me, it's adoption and fitness, and then 10 things you can't live without in your home, like 10 to 15 things that relate to any of these kind of things that we just talked about. And you share that in a certain formula. And I tell people, you draw people in with what you're good at. And that could be 10-minute meals, that could be fitness, that could be whatever it may be, travel, and then you hit them with your everyday. And so that is what I think the strategy is like, you don't have to keep coming up with creative strategies all of the time. Just share what you're doing in your day-to-day. In fact, the more polished videos typically don't do as well as those real life moments. Which
brings me to my final question. Speaking about not polished videos, again, my son Chase, went viral with absolutely, I don't understand with what. He had 2 million views. Any advice? How can he monetize?
It's quick. People want under 15. Oh, how can he monetize that?
Is it the way?
Well, yeah. So your next day, because if you went viral in one day, so the next 24 to 48 hours are your most crucial things. So the next day you would share the products you use, the shoes you were wearing, those kinds of things. Like that's the quickest way to do it. And then, viral videos typically are short, 15-second, 30-second videos that speak to real life moments. And so it can be funny things like me talking about Elf on the Shelf and I forgot, or it can be things like, please don't serve my kids alcohol, or my biggest video, 7 million views. What do I do between 4:30 and 9 a.m.? There's nothing polished, nothing on HGTV, nothing I've ever done with People Magazine, nothing ever does as well as those real life moments.
Yep. Fantastic. Jenny, thank you so much again for putting
You're welcome. I'm on my way to the car line and then the barn, and then I got to pick up.
Did you order the tripod?
I did. I don't know where it is. Yes.
It did come?
Oh, there's Grace. Here. Oh. Hey, there's Paul. We're doing an interview. She has transformed Grace's body as well.
That's right.
Wait, does he want to see what I'm eating for lunch? He's going to be really happy.
Yes.
I hope it's meat.
Yes, it is, Mom.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of food right now. I have chicken, eggs, and berries.
Oh my gosh, fantastic.
And you have also changed her.